Hey guys, KaBOOM06 here, back with another video. In this one I'll be doing a Kefla fan art, so let's get right to it. In this video I'll be discussing my process, future drawing slash videos, and new game slash new game double exclamation points. As I discussed in the last video, I've been doing some thumbnail drawings. If you look at the thumbnail to the left side of the thumbnail for this video, which I had to rework for this specific drawing, that's where I already had an idea as to what I was going to do with the background. Along with that, I've been on Twitter, Newgrounds, and DeviantArt looking at different artists and their styles. I want to rejuvenate my art, so to speak, so I had a ton of reference outside of the obvious Kefla references from Dragon Ball Super, so that I could have some inspiration to experiment a little bit more and just go for something a little bit different from what I usually do. This drawing took a total of roughly 5 hours, and to draw out the thumbnails, this took me 1 hour 11 minutes, which would be about 7 minutes on each of the 10 thumbnails, because it took me 2 minutes to create the squares for the thumbnails. To be honest, I think that this is okay, but I do believe that I could do better. In fact, I might keep this drawing in my memory and be sure to redraw it in 2023. Speaking of redrawing my own work, if you guys have an idea for an artwork of mine you'd like to see me redraw, let me know. Once I got to the shading, I was enjoying myself a little bit more. I feel like I'm on the verge of an awakening in terms of my artwork. I felt like this during 2019 when I went from absolute garbage to work that I can actually be proud of at the time, though I now found it appalling because of just how much I've grown as an artist over the past 3 years. There are a plethora of characters, both male and female, that I want to draw, but I'll go into more detail later. As I talked about in the last section, there are plenty of characters that I want to draw that I have yet to draw. Whether I will get around to them, only time will tell. To list off some characters that I'm thinking of, there is Guren, Akamaru, Kakashi Hatake, Rin Nohara, Adult Obito Uchiha, Shippuden Sasuke Uchiha, Ulti, and probably more. Off the top of my head, that's who comes to mind, but I'm sure there's more. I do want to draw Minato Namikaze, Neji Hyuga, Shikamaru Nara, and others outside of the Naruto Dragon Ball Super Transition redraw that I did, where I drew half of their bodies. I draw at least half of their bodies, but we'll see if that pans out. As for future videos, next week I will be making one showcasing the Kefla thumbnail sketches that I made for this specific drawing that you guys are seeing right now, in which I drew one of them. I also will make a video showcasing some random thumbnail sketches that I made, including the 10 I made for Kefla. I've drawn a total of 27 thumbnails. Thumbnail sketches will likely be a permanent aspect of my process of making fully rendered drawings, so expect to see a larger concentration of videos that showcase just that. Either that or I will have the thumbnail process be a part of these videos. I think for the next video after the Kefla thumbnails, I'll simply have the first half be the thumbnail drawings, in which I talk about the thumbnails themselves and any other random stuff that I choose to discuss within that section. For those types of videos, the thumbnails will be its own chapter, in which I will simply talk about whatever I please. As you guys know, I've recently been watching a bunch of new anime and giving you guys spoiler-free reviews of said anime. With that in mind, let me discuss new game / new game double exclamation points. I don't really understand how the titles work, but new game with 1 exclamation point is the first season, new game with 2 is the second season. New game has some similarities to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It has a similar art style and the series features primarily females. In the case of New Game, the only male characters present are a cat and a little boy. Any other guys within the series have their face covered and aren't touched upon whatsoever. Outside of that, the contents of their stories are entirely different, so one isn't a ripoff of the other. In terms of the general mood of the series, both tend to be very comedic and both do a great job of changing the mood in an instant. To me though, New Game sells its different moods, whether it's depression, love, hate, disappointment, etc., much better. When watching Ms. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I didn't really feel any of that as much when I was watching the emotionally intense moments within the show. The comedy of the series tended to be what stood out to me the most when I was watching that. Without going too in depth about the details of the series, the story follows Aoba Suzukaze as she works for a game company. New Game is a slice of life anime that focuses on the collaboration and camaraderie of the employees who work for the company and what they're working toward. I really love the pacing of the series. Even if you're just bringing Binging it, as I did, the pacing is good enough so that you can totally understand the pain and sorrow of the shortcomings that come with it, and you feel the accomplishment everyone feels when they reach their goals. The series has interesting work relationships, rivalries, mentor-student relationships, friendships, and more to offer that make this so interesting, as well as being able to see the main character adapt to a new environment. Overall, I'd give this series a 9.1 out of 10. I don't really know what I'd do to make this series better. One thing I can think of is to have less of a focus on the work environment and try to look more at the outside lives of the employees, or perhaps mix the two environments and create even more dynamics that can increase drama, comedy, etc. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, check out my Twitter and Discord, both are in the description. If you want to know what I'm currently doing or thinking about, those two places are the best places to go. I will see you guys next time.